It's time to go around the blockchain. We have Bitcoin at a multi-year high, ETH sitting at 3K and holding it as support, and Cardano just hit a high on this metric. Let's dive in. Thank you for joining, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and smash, elbow drop, kick that like button, everybody. I know we're all watching it this weekend, folks. We're going to go and get into the green square here. It is Piano Matty B. Piano Matty B, how are you doing today?
Well, you know, with a nice little pump like this, who can complain? We got dumped on with snow overnight, but it all melted, so everything's just perfect up here. How are you, DZ?
It is going up all roses, baby. Also on today, we have Matthew Snider. You see him at Block 3 Strategy. Matthew, how are you doing today?
Doing so fantastic, DZ. Thanks as always for having me. Happy Mutant Monday. Love to see all the new crazy news from the Yuga side. No shirts today, but yeah, my shorts are doing terrible. My put options are in the garbage can. It's awful.
Well, Snider, every time we try to talk about Bored Apes, they say, stop pumping your bag, DZ. So, you know, maybe in a future episode. And then last but not least, he was almost in Mexico City. It is Hawk Mining. Hawk, that chain looks a little bit heavy. Can you confirm whether or not you stole that off Flavor Flav?
It's 3D printed, so it's a lot lighter than it looks. But I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. Let's get to it.
I don't know this before we get to the show, Hawk. I don't know if you saw. I think it was Riot. They said they can mine a Bitcoin average cost 26K. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, they got that $330 million facility going up. It's a gigawatt. And yeah, you know, look, like here's the thing, you know, and just let me touch on this for a second. A lot of people don't know this, is that they're making deals with a lot of these funds to get this virgin Bitcoin, and they're selling it at a premium. But we can get into that. We can get into that later if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want none of that dirty cartel, you know, North Korea Lazarus group Bitcoin. You know, I just want my Bitcoin to a Papa John's pizza, folks. That's all I want. Well, let's get right into the Bitcoin story here. I'll share this screen. Bitcoin price surges above 53K for the first time since 2021. Everybody here, let me go ahead and make the screen a little bit bigger there. Multi-year highs. Now, it isn't quite 3 years because it was late 2021, but we still have Bitcoin reaching untold marks. Started the month, I was just looking back at the charts, folks. Started the month at $42,000. We're still not even through the shortest month of the year, even during a leap year. Month over month, it is up 28%, almost 30% month over month. And folks, the halving is less than 60 days away. Now, Piano Matty B, you are a charts guy. I did not expect Bitcoin to be bullish. You know, we're reaching new all-time high, multi-year highs here. We haven't got the textbook 20% drawback that we've seen repeatedly over the last 12 months. What were your thoughts heading into the weekend, and does this pump surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. However, what does surprise me it's 2021 that it was at 53K. That kind of blows my mind. What also blows my mind is that if as much as we're up this month, we spent 2 weeks at 51.7. 2 solid weeks. Just that mean going back and forth, 51.7. It was lulling everyone to sleep, you know, and then boom, we wake up and that was such a handsome green candle when I was eating breakfast today. I couldn't believe it. Doesn't surprise me.
Not green eggs and ham, but, you know, something was green for sure. Yeah, we can share my chart here. This is the period in which he was talking about. We finally broke out of this range. Here, I'll shrink it just a little bit so you can see just trading sideways, the 51.7. You know, maybe a fluctuation of a couple $100, few $100, but now finally breaking out with, you know, some real conviction here. Now, Matthew, a lot of people are starting to get real bullish. I want to ask you, do you think, what is your high target before the halving? And have you revised your 2024, 2025 Bitcoin price predictions, just given off what has happened over the last couple months?
I think it's a very fair question to ask whether or not Bitcoin's going to reach a new all-time high in the next 50 or so days before the halving. I'm still looking for the pullback here. I think we're just going to see a little bit of consolidation. It was crazy to see us around that 51.7 line for 2 weeks, as Matty B said. And I think when Michael Saylor goes out and buys another 3K Bitcoin, it really helps with another 5% move in the positive direction. So it's not really going to help me change my price targets. I'm still, maybe we have to go back to the films and see what I said on previous shows, but I think I was tagging along between like a 125-ish number, 150. I think we might see a number go higher than that, but I think at the end of the year, that'll probably be around what we might see as a price for Bitcoin.
All right. Well, let's see. We have Hawk Mining, and Hawk, it's not just the traders getting excited. It's not just institutions getting excited. The miners are getting really excited. Now this extra, hey, you produce that Bitcoin, you got a couple extra $1,000 than you would have got yesterday if you sell it on the open market.
Right.
But is there a nuke incoming? It's so many people mining, so many people in profit. I mean, have the miners, they've taken a breather on dumping on the institute or dumping on retail. Are you feared that they're going to pick up the selling in the next couple of weeks, since we did just break out of this boring 2-week channel?
I don't think so. I'm going to tell you why. There's only so much Bitcoin left on the market right now, and I think this is another thing that's causing this massive pump and this massive move. We have something that's never been calculated before with every other halving, right? We have an ETF. We have, there was a point, and I don't know, I'm not a trader, but I was watching $550 million a day going into Bitcoin at one point. The crypto mining community is don't get me wrong, we sell, we have to sell, right? But a lot of people are holding. There's a lot of anticipation that Bitcoin's going to get over 80, 90K this year. So I don't think we're going to see a massive sell-off, but nobody knows, because after this halving, we typically see a 20% dip in hash rate, which is going to drive yields up. But are we? I mean, if Bitcoin stays where it's at now and keeps going 60, 70K prior to the halving, I don't know. It's going to be a good question. Everybody can look at their charts and go get their crystal balls, but I don't think anybody's going to know. And I think that's what's making it so exciting.
All right. Well, Matty and Matt, I'm going to ask you the same question I'm about to ask Hawk Mining here real quick. Hawk Mining, why hasn't Bitcoin cooled down yet? I mean, if you just pick one reason, is it the upcoming halving? Is it ETFs? Is it short squeeze? Well, what's the number one reason to you that we haven't seen that 20% capitulation?
I just think it's the constant buying. Day after day. It's the type of buying that we've never really seen before, right? So like, it's almost, does retail even exist? And if so, what are they actually going to add on top of it? Just a little bit of the wick, I guess, just to sell off and dump on them, but that's about it.
Big institutions probably waiting for retail to start buying before they could start selling. Yes. Greater Good Mining, showing Hawk Mining some love in the chat real quick. Hawk number one, Automatic Beats. He's just bullish on people named Matt, except for my cousin Matt. He used to bully me relentlessly when I was 4 years old. All right, well, let's talk about Ethereum. A true story. I'm not bitter still. Ethereum hit a 22-month high, folks. So in the meantime, Bitcoin a little bit more. I think we're around a 26-month high, 25-month high. Well, Ethereum almost right there, 22-month high. Just hit 3,125. I actually want to look at the most recent price data. $3,178. If you look, let me just shrink a little bit so you can see the right side there. Flirting with this just higher highs, almost setting in a higher low right there at the end here. On-chain data, folks. This is where it really starts to get interesting, talking about Ethereum. The top 1,000 wallets. There's a metric. They track the top 1,000 whales. I think Vitalik's ant. Okay. The top 1,000 holders, they have purchased 170,000 Ethereum over the weekend for an aggregate total of $514 million worth. So the top 1,000 wallets added $500 million over the weekend. The top, so this is they're really on an accumulation spree since February 23rd. And then another telling sign, Grayscale. Grayscale had a little comment. Grayscale, of course, applying to sell at a spot ETF here. With Ethereum's planned Dencun upgrade in March, Ethereum is on the cusp of growing up through a pivotal transformation aimed at addressing its scalability challenges. Very much, advantageous for Ethereum right there. Then the big Dencun upgrade scheduled to happen on March 13th. Well, folks, that's just a little over 2 weeks away. So it might be fireworks for Ethereum over the next month or so. Now, Piano Matty B, What to you is the number one reason we're seeing ETH perform so well? Seems like not that long ago, you could get it for $1,000 cheaper. Is it just piggybacking off Bitcoin, or do you think the whales are anticipating an ETH ETF?
Well, a couple things. I do think it's just a function of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum's going to have a good day as well. I don't know how much of a better day Ethereum can have over Bitcoin in the long run. Or, I mean, it can have worse days than Bitcoin, but I don't know if it can have that much better days than Bitcoin. But I mean, this is what you have when with these altcoins. You know, you have some insiders or whales, whatever you want to call them, you know, getting in before everyone else does. To me, it's just a little suspicious. I don't like hearing those things. I like to think that it's just the market making its way, you know. But when I hear this, I go, oh, I'm glad I'm sitting out. However, I think Ethereum got dumped on for so long that it was such a redheaded stepchild. It was time for a good pump. You know, as soon as everyone hates it, you know, it's a goodbye.
All right. And, you know, looking at the chart, this is the ETH Bitcoin trading pair. If I move it, maybe have to move a little bit here. It looks like it, well, recently, it was spiking in 2017, 2018 when the ETH had a pump. But ETH had a pump a little bit after Bitcoin. You can see it right here, December 12th, 2021. And then after that, it's basically less and less Bitcoin it takes to buy one Ethereum. And here you can see one Ethereum was roughly 9% of a Bitcoin. Right now, we're roughly 5.8% of a Bitcoin. And then this trading channel right there, folks, this trading channel established in 2016. And again, this is the ETH Bitcoin trading pair. Now, I'm looking at this and I can't help but think maybe a bounce is coming. Maybe, you know, it's just going to continue to perform as expected. But Matthew, would you take profits, you know, once you look at some of these ETH Bitcoin trading pairs? And with ETH, do you take profits in fiat? First, are you taking profits anytime in 2024? Second, if you were, would it be fiat or Bitcoin?
That's a great question. For me, I'm a Bitcoin person through and through. I'm a firm believer in the ecosystem. I hold both Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I hold more Bitcoin than Ethereum. I feel like there are always opportunities to shave a little off when we've seen a lot of positive activity like we've seen. And I've had the benefit of being a buyer at much lower prices. So you get an opportunity to say, let's take a little bit off the table and hold for a rainy day or for, you know, some other speculative plays. I'm always a big fan too of taking a little bit off the top. Say if you're, you know, getting into dividends or things like that, taking some of that and instead of reinvesting it back into your portfolio, you can allocate it to super high risky or either inverse opportunities, right? How do you take advantage of adverse market opportunities as well? So how do you play both sides? And learning to do that is something that I'm kind of working with as well. So there's a lot of interesting opportunities out there, but it's always good to take a little bit of profit.
Always good to take a little bit of profit. Well, Hawk, there's going to be a period where people are going to be asking that question. We got the Denkun upgrade about 2 weeks ago. Or 2 weeks from now. Well, there was a previous upgrade. I'm drawing a blank on the name real quick, but this was around, it was April of 2021 in Ethereum. We can share my chart real quick. Ethereum had a large upgrade. Now, in this time, ETH was just pumping everybody. I mean, look at that, a 50% pump, except for that little blip right there. Green Day, like the Dookie album, just green days after green days here. And then there was an upgrade. Everybody said, buy the rumor, sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Right.
Well, it fell a little bit, right? So you caught it. All right, yeah, you know, hey, look at that. It fell 16%. I'm glad I sold that. Otherwise, I would have lost 16%. But then you might have missed out on the next 125% pump. So do you have a strategy for the Denkun upgrade? Do you have any thoughts on, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news? Or is it just impossible to predict?
I think it's impossible to predict. And you know, Matt, traders like himself may tell me that I'm crazy. I think the whole market, and nobody can predict the markets, right? You know, because there's buy the rumor, sell the news, people sell off. And to be honest with you, after the merge, and no surprise here, a lot of the crypto mining community, we're not a fan of Ethereum, but I do think we needed Ethereum to succeed for crypto in general. And I think Ethereum's going to do great things. I think Ethereum can hit 10K easy. This bull cycle, and they have everything to do so. You know, like, hey, a rising tide raises all ships. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know much about Ethereum. I don't really look into it too much. All I know is it had some significant price discovery, and I'm glad that everything's doing well with it. So That's
All right,
kind of
well-
where I stand on the Ethereum train.
All right. Well, now speaking of Ethereum, I'll throw one more trader question here over at Matty. Now, Matty, last time we had Bitcoin halving, it's kind of hard to tell because of the COVID crash, right? We had a COVID crash a couple months before. It was in June 2020. If I could share my screen. And then because this is a log chart, it almost doesn't even look that good. This COVID crash was very, very severe, folks. Looks like it fell 70% just in a very, very short period, about 2-3 weeks right there. But then the halving, and then Ethereum just said, hold my beer, I will gain all that back. Here you see 150% pump in about 3 months. Have we pumped too hard before the halving now to expect a big pump after the halving?
That's the $1 million question. I mean, we haven't had any retracements whatsoever. Like anything under 20% is just a pullback. It's just the market blowing off steam, but we haven't had any major corrections yet. So the odds would say that there's a high probability that there is somewhat of an epic correction pullback coming. But, with the ETFs pumping into Bitcoin, I kind of think, the cliche that it's different this time and all bets are off.
All bets are, hey, maybe
100%.
it'll be different, but maybe it'll still rhyme. I guess maybe both can be true. All right, let's talk about Cardano on the rise. But folks, there might be an asterisk on this. I might have fudded you. I might have hoodwinked you here. I want to share this article because I don't want to just highlight something. One, this is a very bullish article. Cardano sees significant jump in new wallets. Here they are just adding, they're kind of setting the table ahead of time. Oh, wow, it's a jump in new wallets. Not only is it a jump, it's a significant jump. But when we dive into the article here, start looking, all right, well, in February 22nd, we only added 1,700 new wallets in a day. Whoa, 2 days later, we had skyrocketed. It almost doubled, 3,200 wallets. Then you start digging, well, it's lower than what it was at the beginning of the month, 5,000 new wallets. But we look at the brink of the total wallets, 4.6 million. So you read this and you can't help but, all right, well, it seems like Cardano's on the way up. Retail is starting to drive demand. All of this seems good. Well, folks, I did some more digging. This is on Crypto Panic. It's a news aggregator site. Now, I haven't had the time to double check this, but they provided citations. So I'm assuming this is all correct here. Someone had something to say. Cardano sees significant jump. This is on that article. And I'll read it just in case the screen's a little bit small. They quote the article. Well, for reference, clickbait title. For reference, yesterday, ETH saw 100,000 new addresses. Solana, 400,000, based off 7-day moving average. BNB, 200,000. Arbitrum, 40K. Optimism, 500,000. Polygon, 200K. Even Bitcoin, 400,000 new addresses. And here we are writing an article. We jump from 1,700 to 3,200. Matthew Snider, I can't help but want to sell on my Cardano. What is going on here? What's your 2 cents?
My 2 cents is that you're a mind reader because now I want to sell all my Cardano. I'm sorry, but that is an astonishing comparison. Not even a little bit, like not even competitive. I had no idea and hadn't seen that either. But I do love that news aggregator. So shout out to Crypto Shark, Crypto Wolf,
Crypto Panic.
Crypto Panic.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. But I am like kind of speechless right now. But the token's going up, so I don't know what you want to say.
But the token, you just explained the bull market in one sentence. I don't get it, but the token's going up. You can put that on a t-shirt. Hawk,
Yep.
What?
Yes.
Now, I can't help but feel a little bit bearish off this. Let me ask you, since you do mining, and I've done some mining. I mined some Raven coin back in the day, looking at some other coins as well. It doesn't take much to spin up a GitHub wallet. When you see 400,000 wallets added, 100,000 wallets added, 500,000 wallets, what to you feels like, what's the number of humans behind a number like that, in your opinion?
I would say at least 40 to 50%. A lot of people are setting up different wallets for different reasons. I would say, and we saw this last bull cycle too. Like, for me, a bull signal is like when I have my cousins and family start texting me, asking me, hey, what's up with these Bitcoins? That for me is like, all right, cool. Now it's starting to get out to, with all due respect, normies out there, people who don't get into crypto. And now I'm, hey, yeah, set up this wallet here. People are, figuring out how to do stuff, and it's great. I would say about 40 to 50% of the new wallets are actually new people getting into it, because there's a lot of other people that create other wallets for different reasons, or different mining machines that pay to different, so they can keep track of money, whether it's coming from one hosting facility or another. So there's a lot of, would traders use different wallets as well. So I would say 40 to 50% conservatively.
All right, and Cardano bringing up multiple opinions here in the chat. Zash, I'm very glad you guys are discussing Cardano. You just earned a sub. The very next comment, Cardano is dead. If your token hasn't moved until now, you're in the wrong one. Well, crypto meme, it didn't. It teleported from 25 cents to 40 cents, and then 40 cents to 60 cents, but it's been dead since then. I'll go ahead and give you that one. It's been dead since then. All right, well, I want to ask Piano Matty B some of these other questions here. Slowest Time Lord brought up a good point. Now, Matty, he says, new addresses is a terrible metric on these cheap chains, costs literal nothing to create thousands of addresses here. Do you think there's some fudging with the numbers?
Well, I think it's heartbreakingly embarrassing for them to have to, put an article out like that, or just have an article like that about them. To just like Hawk said, to the normie, they would see that and go, "Oh my God, this Cardano coin is going to the moon. We should buy it." Right? But it really doesn't mean anything. I think we were talking about this last week. I think for Cardano, the proof will be in the price action. If it goes up, then we're on. If it doesn't go up, there's literally nothing to talk about.
Yeah, the bull run is real crazy. Now, Matty, I want to ask you this, since you're a trader. Last cycle, it wasn't overnight by any means, but some of the pumps felt like overnight. It went from 2 cents to $3. Parabolic at the end. It basically felt like it teleported from $2 to $3. Matty, do you think we'll get another explosive move in 2024 or 2025?
From Cardano?
Yes.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think at that level, but not to say that there aren't coins out there right now that will do that same sort of thing. I don't think we're going to see coins that did that last bull run do it again. Yes, they'll grow. Yes, we'll see them go up significantly. But I think those type of parabolic 2 cents to $3 or whatever it is, those aren't for legacy coins. Is a Cardano a legacy coin already? I guess it is.
I think so.
2 cents to $3, 150x. It went all the way down to 20 cents. So, I mean, to match that, it still has to add a 0 to 3. That'd be 30. That seems a little high there. What kind of multiple, would see if we as low as 20 cents? What's your high range? I mean, is it $5? Is it $10? Is it only $3?
I think it'd be lucky if it gets back to last bull run's all-time high.
Bearish.
I know.
All right. Hey, I like it. I like the difference of opinions here. Now, Matthew, what do you say to those numbers?
I think that's great.
Here we go.
You get back to all-time high or right by all-time high. Like, you're going to be, if you're a buyer at 60 cents, that's what, a 5-6x? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This is crypto, and we laugh at 5x's, okay? All right? 5x is
Rookie
nothing.
numbers.
It doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. Hawk
Right?
Mining.
Rookie numbers.
Retail loves Cardano.
Yes,
Institutions less so. Will
course
that
they
ever
do.
change?
No, because of who their leader is. If you
Hoskinson.
watch Charles,
Is it because of
if you
his
watch,
political opinions?
it's not just, listen, I'm a fan of Charles Hoskinson because he doesn't he doesn't kiss the ring of the gods, in my opinion. Okay.
Stick with
He does
mainstream talking points, you mean?
Right. He sticks to his opinion, whether you like him or not. The guy's YouTube channel, every time he posts a video, I'm a fan. I watch it because I like his talking points, and people, they watch him and they go, he's real. You don't get the corporate BS. You don't get the institutional BS with him. He says it how it is, and you're going to get a lot of slack for that, right? But a lot of people have confidence in Cardano because of that, right? Who their leadership is. I always say, like, you can have the best crew on the boat, but if the guy steering it is going to run it into an iceberg, everybody's going down. So that was not a Titanic reference. So,
hey, you know what? You can still paint me like one of your women. Let's see, Zash. Yes, we have talked about the midnight update. You should check out our other channel, Discover Crypto. We got a lot of Cardano videos out there. Now, all right, Matty, since you're probably maybe have the lower price target here, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's a fair statement here. What would you say is the number one thing holding back Cardano? Do you agree? Is it, as you like to call him, Chucky Ho-Ho?
Well, at the end of the day, Chucky Ho-Ho is the leader, and I think people are getting behind him, win or lose, right? So it's falling on this. This is why I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a human minimalist. So you're basically Chucky Ho-Ho is your leader. And so is he a smart guy? For sure. Will he? Is that enough? I don't know. We've seen tokens without smart guys go to the moon. So maybe this one can still grow, but I actually think he is in his own way. That makes sense.
All right. And someone in the chat saying they gave up on it in 2021. I'm actually about to just shrink down that time period here. If you got in late, yeah, it certainly wasn't great, folks. If you got in January 1st, you got in for 17 cents, and then you rolled that baby up into let's see, basically a 20x. 15 cents would be the 20. So close enough, a 20x. And then, hey, somewhere around here, we added NFTs. You know, hey, there was a wallet added right there. So yeah, it did a little bit. ADA will take at least 3% of the total overall crypto market cap. Do the math. I think 2% is doable. 3 to 5, I am buying a Lamborghini. I guess I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't fit. I would buy a Tesla truck, everybody. I still have the pre-order. All right, well, folks, let's just go ahead and we'll go around the blockchain. I'll start it. I'll put myself out in the firing line first. Let's go ahead and give our 2024 highest price Cardano can reach. You know, a lot of people are expecting coins that are strong to reach previous all-time highs and then maybe even exceed it. I don't know. Cardano likes to pump late or I don't know. Cardano's weird. It pumps when it wants to pump. So I'm going to go ahead and say $2.69. Piano Matty B, how high does it go in 2024?
I was actually going to say 269, so I'm going to have to price this right you and say 270.
That's actually pretty funny. Great minds think alike, and then there's me and Matty. Matthew, what would you say?
Well, I was going to say between 250 and 270, so now I have to do 271.
What? Wait, Hive Mind? Hawk Mining, what's going on here? What do you got?
Listen, the size of their ecosystem has doubled. Their activity has almost tripled. I say they break a new all-time high, and more retail investors go that way. And look, and all respect, Matt, I love you. I'm just saying, it's the proof is in the activity. It's got real world use case. Retail investors are going to it. We all know that retail money is stronger than institutional money. I don't care what the argument is. We saw that with a bunch of stupid stuff like AMC and all the apes and stuff. So I think people catch on to ADA, and once that happens, it's gonna rival Ethereum and it's gonna rival Solana. 100%.
All right, and we'll just end with you know what, we're gonna end with Matty, but I want to read a couple chats real quick. Plus, it won't shut down like Solana or Avalanche. People are smoking the good. This chat, ha ha ha, I love it. What else do we have? Let's see. Cardano equals Cybertruck. Overhyped and not as cool as you think. Well, great episode, everybody. If you enjoyed this discussion, if you enjoyed the Bitcoin, ETH, or Cardano discussion, please go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We bring you live content Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Matty B, I'll let you take us out here with some parting thoughts, if you don't mind.
Well, listen, the one thing that we did learn the past 2 weeks is that up or down, the most important aspect to do during the market is to take your vitamin P, your patience, because eventually the market's going to break. It took 2 weeks, but look, it broke. There you go. Vitamin P, most important nutrient in a bull market.
And folks, I have a different vitamin P. It's vitamin pumpamentals, okay? Respect the pumpamentals, as Ivan would say. If you don't respect the pumpamentals, you'll miss out. I know it feels a little woo-woo, like a religion, but you must respect the pumpamentals. Folks, we have links to all the guests down below. Highly, highly implore you, go check out their content. Make sure you follow them. Make sure you go and follow them. I'll give you a little time right now. Go ahead, do it. Just move the mouse. Move the mouse. Scroll down, click it. Make sure you're sub. That's all we got. See you folks tomorrow.
Peace.